The Spears-Federline divorce was enormous entertainment news. A quiet day at the courthouse involved 6 television trucks, 24 media, and helicopters in the sky hoping to catch a glimpse of the famous or infamous plaintiff. No doubt the constant attention, feeling hounded by the paparazzi, and still having to deal with a broken heart and 2 young sons contributed to Britney's spiraling out of control.
Okay, well, for the first time in 3 months, Britney Spears came to the downtown LA courthouse, and it's very strange, there was very little fanfare. In previous visits here, it's been accompanied by just media craziness. Today, everyone's quite subdued. She rolled in the passenger seat of a white Land Rover, and with little fanfare. She's presumably entering the courthouse right now, and that's different from past times, because in the past, it's really been a zoo out here. It's still a zoo. We still have more than 24 media. We have helicopters overhead. There's 6 television trucks. There's deputies milling around, but Britney Spears is in and pretty quiet.
As part of the divorce, Spears sought custody of their 2 children with visitation rights for Federline. However, Federline responded, also seeking physical and legal custody. Rumors abounded that Kevin's custody battle had more to do with money than with any parental inclination.
Kevin is not seeking any change in any monetary award that he has at the present time. All of these frenzied reports about how he's seeking custody linked to money are unfounded.
During 2007, Britney's behavior began to deteriorate. Trouble escalated when reports emerged of Britney's bodyguard, Julio Camara, known as JC, bashing photographer Andrew Dietz in Las Vegas. It seemed that wherever Britney went, trouble followed her.
JC came out of nowhere and pummeled me to the ground, punched, kicked me maybe 20, 30 times. Got up after that, went by the hotel elevators, by the spa elevators to get back to the main floor. And Britney, we had a wall of security in between us. Britney had came up after that and restrained by security, threw a baby bottle trying to hit both of us. And then turned around and threatened me personally, saying she was going to kill me. That I should get a restraining order on her, because if she couldn't kill me, she was going to have someone kill me for her. Very threatening.
Britney also took part in a photo shoot that became famous when her dog defecated on thousands of dollars worth of borrowed gowns.
Her mood changed many, many times within the 3 hours we were together. In the story, we call it erratic. It was a very, very odd place that we found Britney to be in. And as the day went on, and after she left the set and came back to the set several times, including several bathroom breaks, we found that her mood changed. Britney left the shoot with about $20,000 worth of clothing and items that OK had borrowed from some of the biggest designers in the world for the shoot. And then in addition, there was probably about $5,000 worth of stuff that was damaged, including the dress that her dog had relieved himself of.
Kevin Federline's lawyers were happy to point to Britney's bad behavior as a reason not to have custody of her children.
Our client was prepared to testify on issues of nudity by Ms. Spears, drug use, and safety issues involving the children post-rehab.
In March 2007, the couple reached a global settlement, but the bitter custody battle continued, even with a changing legal team. Renowned celebrity divorce lawyer Laura Wasser, whose clients included Angelina Jolie and Stevie Wonder, handed over to a new firm to see the process through.
So are you stepping down?
We were hired to do a job, and we did it, and from here on in, Marcy Levine at Freed & Goldsman will be handling the custody part of the case. It's a custody status hearing in the ongoing custody battle between Britney Spears and her ex-husband Kevin Federline over the couple's 2 sons. There's 2-year-old Sean Preston and 1-year-old Jaden James. Today they're going to be reviewing a a custody status evaluation, which is basically a psychiatric evaluation of Britney Spears based on all her past troubles and her recent progress. So what could happen today is the judge could amend the couple's visitation rights. Since January, Britney has had no visitation. In February, Federline has allowed some limited visitation. And of course, Britney is hoping for more time with her son.
Britney's limited visitation rights stemmed from her erratic behavior. In 2007, Britney was checked into a rehabilitation clinic in Antigua. After checking herself out, she visited a Californian hairdressing salon where she cut off her hair with clippers. Later in the year, she was admitted to a facility in Malibu in an attempt to deal with her out-of-control lifestyle.
The girl has no peace. She is constantly in the news. She can't do anything. She can't go anywhere without people just hounding her. And this has got to take a terrible toll.
It's quite possible it could be a breakdown. It's quite possible it could be drugs. There are features of both. The erratic behavior, the poor judgment, the inviting attention, is a cry for help, it seems like. And it could be a number of things, but certainly those would be at the top of the list about what could be driving this type of behavior.
However, even with all of her personal struggles, Britney's 2007 release still garnered critical acclaim. Her album, Blackout, received widespread success.
The most shocking thing about Blackout is that it's great. Like, it's great all the way through. It's not like her previous albums where there's like a few big hits and those are the songs that you listen to and you kind of like skip over some of the other stuff. Like, this is like from start to finish, you enjoy listening to every single track. It's a great album all the way through.
It seemed as though the focus on Britney's personal life might finally be put aside in favor of thinking about her music rather than her troubles.
Congratulations.
She also began working out a few times a week in the gym and taking dance lessons. Britney performed in a small House of Blues tour as a warm-up to what could potentially be a comeback.
Britney Spears, she's been here, she's back here, she's been here for the past, I guess, month and a half, I guess it's been. After going through, what everyone knows she's been through, she decided, she's relaunching her career again, and she came back and she's been popping in and out of classes just to kind of get back in the groove of things, and then, just past month, she's been really hardcore doing rehearsing to kick off her pub tour, her House of Blues tour.
Even with more commercial success, Britney still could not get her personal life back on track. The beginning of 2008 was marred by her losing custody of her children, failing to take drug and alcohol tests, and being placed under involuntary psychiatric hold. As Britney struggled to get her life back on track, her father James stepped in. He was prepared to do what he hadn't been able to do when she was a child, take control of his daughter.
Part of the reason that Britney has made such a transformation has to be credited to her father. Her father was at the house during our interview. He spent an enormous amount of time with his daughter. He has changed her life. He has cleared out of her life many of the negative influences, has surrounded her with people that love about her, care about her, and first and foremost, now, the priority is Britney.
In January 2008, James Spears was named Britney's co-conservator, along with attorney Andrew Wallet, giving them complete financial control over the wayward pop star.
Two things happened in today's hearing. One, her father was granted permanent control over her personal and financial affairs and remains her conservator. Two, James Spears, her father, was also able to successfully block a motion by Florida attorneys who are suing on behalf of Spears' former manager, trying to get her to testify during a deposition. The conservatorship has been an ongoing situation since February, when James Spears stepped in and took control of his daughter's affairs after a series of high-profile incidents of erratic behavior, including a couple of hospitalizations.
Since attempting to take control of her life, Britney embarked on a tour to promote her 2009 album, Circus. She had pushed boundaries again with the new album, which featured the controversial track name, If You Seek Amy. Fans who had stayed true to Britney through her ups and downs were excited about her comeback.
I think it's great. It's great. She's going to come back. She's going to be better than she was before. She's going to be amazing. Love her. She's going to get in shape, get her life on track. She can do it.
The circus tour was rocked by allegations that Spears was lip-syncing the whole time, and that her performance all round was unimpressive, especially considering the high ticket prices. However, some fans were still happy to see their idol.
It was totally worth the way overpriced tickets and the 2 hours of waiting. Awesome.
I thought it was fantastic. You'll never see her that close up live in person again. We knew it was only being this before we went in, and it was fantastic. She danced well. Her body looks great. She's back.
It was a fantastic show. Britney Spears.
She was really great. She looked amazing. But still, she said she was going to perform 4 of her new songs. She only performed 4 of her old songs.
Amidst the controversy of her comeback tour, Britney Spears fans refused to give up, and media commentators agreed that a few so-so performances wouldn't spell the end for Britney Spears.
A lot of people are speculating that it could be over for her career, but the interesting thing about Britney Spears is just when they count her out, she comes back. She's a perfect example of American society bringing them down just to bring them back again. We love the up and down, the saga of being on top and then being on the very bottom.